Shortcuts, Midas and Fame, yeah. No shortcuts. Really give you motivation and a little bit of inspiration. No shortcuts. Me and the boss ain't easy. Every day somebody needs me. It's no shortcuts. I wake up stretched, say a prayer, coffee and then some fresh air. Time to get it poppin'. I got a fresh 24. Hopefully I'm blessed with plenty more. Meanwhile, I'm thankful for the fire on the inside burning. I keep earning as the world keeps turning. The thing about life is you never stop learning. Hoping everybody Maxwell, Vernon. You make a plan, then you stick to it. Even in tough times, get through it. So get to it. And make sure your family's straight. We going worldwide, you understanding me, mate? Providing a platform where like minds can meet. Closed mouths don't get fed, want everybody to eat. On Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and Twitch. Tuesdays at noon, let's all get rich. It's no shortcuts. Tell a friend to tell a friend about the No Shortcut Show.
That works. Greetings, salutations, welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to another live installment of your favorite / hottest internet sensation by the name of the No Shortcut Show with Midas and Fame. We're going to give you guys a few moments to come on in. As you're coming in, make sure you say hello so we know who's watching with us. Hello. Let us know where you're watching from. And as usual, let us know what you're having for lunch. This is the lunch hour. Every Tuesday at noon. And we didn't have to look and find out what the date was for today because this is our Halloween edition.
Happy Halloween, man.
Yeah, happy Halloween to you too. I try to throw in a little orange and black to be in the spirit halfway, you know what I mean?
I just went all black with it. I went all black with it.
He can't go wrong with that.
I can't go wrong. My son Elijah went to school as a ninja today, and he was wearing all black. So I said, you know what? I think I'm a ninja too.
Hey, I wear so much all black. I had with the chairman of the board and the executives. I just wanted to just switch it up just a taste.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Yeah. But we're glad to be here, ladies and gentlemen. We're thankful, grateful, blessed, highly favored. And we count it an honor to be here with you guys yet another
Absolutely.
Tuesday at noon. Welcome to everyone nationally, internationally. Yeah, it's a pleasure to be here with you guys. And thank you for not counting it robbery to come hang out with us for the next hour or so. Hello, Mom. My
Hi,
mother's
Mom.
here, keeping the perfect attendance alive. I was just talking about my mother in the green room with
Yeah.
Famous and our guest today. I'm just like, my mom's here every week. There's my brother.
Matthew's here.
Good afternoon. Much love to my
What's
family.
up, Matthew?
Yeah, and also my brother, former guest, ladies and gentlemen. Be sure to check out Smooth Sales. Matt, drop your link in the comments. He's doing some big things, ladies and gentlemen. You have an
Hmm.
alternative to Amazon and Target and
Yes.
Walmart and Best
Please.
Buy and all of these things where you online shop. You might want to check out Smooth Sales.
Yeah.
Find some
Hello,
great deals.
Robin. Robin
Robin
Barbie.
Barbie is in the
Hey.
house. All the Barbs. Welcome, ladies and
Thanks for
gentlemen. Y'all
joining
come on in.
us.
Be sure to say hi. We've got 3 hellos and I think 5 or 6 watching. So don't be shy. We give you a quick
Yeah, of
shout
course
out,
you're here.
and we're not gonna roast you like they do at the comedy shows. Just gonna say hi and keeping it moving. Hoping everyone's having a great day. It's a little chilly outside today. I had a
Yeah.
couple 2 cups of
We
coffee.
got Rhonda
All
watching on
former
YouTube. What's up,
former
Rhonda?
guest of our platform, Miss Rhonda Badiki, a musical powerhouse from the Motown days up until now, is
Yeah.
here. Thank you, Rhonda, for joining us today. Keeping that YouTube, keep them straight over on that
I
YouTube,
know. That's what I
Rhonda.
was about to say. Keep the YouTube numbers up.
Yeah.
Most
We
everybody
may have to
watches on
make her a
Facebook.
what do you call it when you make someone? They have the wrench. You make them a you know what I'm talking about?
Like the
My
top
brother can answer.
contributor.
Well, no, with someone who's who can be in charge over there on the chat.
Oh yeah. I know. The
I
moderator.
forget.
The
Moderator.
moderator. The YouTube
Yeah.
moderator. Yeah.
Yeah. We might have to make Rhonda moderate over
She'll
there
be
on
the YouTube
YouTube
moderator, and Nuff said will be the moderator on
for
Twitch.
Twitch.
Yeah.
Yeah. So shout out to everybody who's joining us via Facebook, whether you be on YouTube, whether you be on Twitch.
Yeah.
And soon to come, at some point, we're going to
At
be
some
able to go
point.
live on Instagram too. We're waiting for those proper updates. We're just trying to make
At some
sure.
point.
Yeah, and ladies and gentlemen, before we proceed, take this live feed and hit that share,
Hmm.
and post it to your own individual Facebook page if you would like, because we always believe in the message that we preach here. Uh, believe that message is powerful, and you never know who needs to hear just a couple of gems,
Yeah,
or
buddy.
needs a little bit of motivation in order to take the next step in pursuing their passion or following their dream. And thank you all for all you do. We are, as we said last week, we have eclipsed the 500 number over in our No Shortcuts community. So we're excited about that, and
Some
we're
of them we can't
approaching.
count though.
What's that? Oh,
Some of them we
because
can't
some of
count.
them are bots. They be
Some,
trying to promote Team
yeah. Some of them do some weird stuff in the middle of the night in
Yeah,
the
they.
feed. We got to get
Yeah,
that tightened up.
yeah. But just going off the numbers that the reports,
I see
Mom, you know
you.
how those. Yeah. Just off the official reports that we get from Facebook, we are
Yeah.
over 500 members now.
Yeah.
I mean, if we want to be technically maybe 495.
It might be. It, it might be five. It might be five or so doing that other thing.
Yeah, the bots. But shout out to y'all too, because bots only gonna come around where they feel like their time won't be wasted. So
Yeah,
we
that's
must
true.
be doing something right.
That's true.
And no, we don't want to sign up for Team U or
We
however
don't
you
want to.
Team U.
I
if we want to, we know how to look it up. Hey, anybody ever have to tell you to go to Walmart when you run out of tissue?
No,
You
we
just
know
know to
exactly
go.
where it is.
Or
Yeah.
CVS, wherever you get your toiletries from. Nobody has to tell you to go. You
Yeah.
know where to go when it's time. So,
That's true.
yeah.
Yo, how was your week, man?
I digress, man. Did I get on a tangent or what?
Well, you know what? Our guest got it started when we were talking in the green room.
In the
She got it
green
started
room.
on this subject.
It's her fault.
So it's
It's
her fault,
definitely
for
her
sure.
fault. Yeah. But no, I'm great, man. Had a great weekend. Just to keep it brief, we had a double. The chairman of the board and the executives had a double header Saturday. So Friday we went out of town to Lexington, North Carolina, which we had a 9:30 show at the barbecue festival, which meant our sound check was at 8, which meant we had to be in a hotel lobby at 7 a.m., which
Wow.
meant once we got to the room, we went to dinner, we went back to the room.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so shout out to all the folks, Stephanie, Sarah, Lee, everyone that has something to do. And if I forget any names, hello, Anita. Thank you
Anita,
for
how you doing?
yeah. So everyone who's who hosts us and takes good care of us, and it's dope, man, because they have the after sound check had a tent with breakfast, and everything, coffee, juice. You want some grits, eggs, bacon, whatever. After sound check, while they were getting ready to do the national anthem and everything, and once we played, they swapped all the breakfast out for lunch. But I was still full from breakfast. Well, we only played an hour and a half set, so
Yeah.
we would 9:30 to 11, and then we had to shoot over to Cary, North Carolina. They were having the annual wine festival at the
Mm.
Cocoa Booth Amphitheater in Cary, North Carolina. I posted a clip in our community yesterday when Ken, shout out to Ken Knox, former guest of our platform and member of the
Hmm.
chairman of the board, keeping our legacy alive. But he invited some folks who were enjoying their wine to come up on the stage
Hey,
and jam with the band. So if you guys missed that clip, go back over to the No Shortcuts community and check out that clip from the wine
that's
festival
always
Sunday. Yeah.
that's
Oh, go ahead.
always
I'm
one of
sorry.
my favorite parts when I see y'all play is when Ken starts to bring people on stage and they start
Yeah.
getting down.
Yeah.
The
Now at
funky
this
chicken, remember that one?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And see, it wasn't even time for that in the
Hmm.
show just yet. We veered off of our normal set list just a little bit to
Hmm.
accommodate what was going on, the
Yeah.
energy in the audience. So it wasn't the funky chicken, the swim, or anything. I think we were covering Get Down on It, and
Okay.
so he just took liberties to
Yeah.
invite those who wanted to at the time to
Hey,
come on up and jam with the band, and
they know how
looked
to
like
do
the
that.
floodgates open. Thought the stage was Noah's Ark for a second.
That's what's up. Shout out to the
Yeah.
chairman and Mr. Summer himself, Ken Knotts, for sure.
hmm And Sunday morning, Mount Dewell Baptist Church with my church family over there. And then Sunday afternoon, I was the musician for the Sandy River Baptist Association conference for the 2 o'clock service at Flint Hill
Hmm.
Baptist Church in Rock Hill. So
Yeah,
yeah,
buddy. Wow.
they took my son to the movies on Sunday evening, and we starting the week over again.
Hmm.
And here we are. It's
And here we
Tuesday.
doing it again, man. Wow.
Yes, sir. What about you?
Man, I don't remember. No,
Mm.
no. It was a single event weekend for me this time around, man. It's
Uh-huh.
finally getting through our last event of October. I had a wedding on Saturday
hmm
at I don't remember where I was now.
You
It
got to
was so
start bringing your
long ago.
calendar to
I
your
really
desk.
do. Oh, I was in
That's what I
Mooresville.
have
I
to
was in
do.
Mooresville
Uh-huh.
at the Performance Institute, and they have like a event venue inside the Performance Training Institute for like NASCAR like driving trainers and stuff like that. So that was
Uh-huh.
pretty cool. I did an event for them a few years ago, and they remembered me, so they recommended me to this couple, for their wedding. They're big NASCAR and racing people, and the groom was
Okay.
actually a photographer. He's like a NASCAR photographer,
hmm
and his photographer at the wedding was actually the photographer for Jeff Gordon. So
Oh,
that was
wow.
pretty
Okay.
cool, yeah. So that was
Yeah.
Saturday, and then that was the only event we had. So Sunday, I was able to get back to church, man. It'd been a minute. Hadn't
Yeah.
been in
Get back
church in
in
a
there.
while, all these weekend events. So we went back to church on Sunday in
hmm
Rock Hill at the River
hmm
Walk, of course, and
Yes.
little lunch after church. And we were gonna go back because they were doing after church. They were doing a trunk or treat,
Oh, okay.
and
Got to do those.
it was a madhouse. It was
Yeah, I could
all
imagine.
kinds of kids, and they were like, "Oh, we're gonna be here till about 3 o'clock." So we
hmm
were like, "Yo, let's just go get lunch, and then we'll come back." But we got out of there at like 2:30 out of the restaurant, and was like, "Listen,
mm
if you don't say nothing, the kids will
Yeah.
probably forget."
Yeah. Yes.
So
And we full too
yeah,
now.
we
I'm ready to
full.
go home
Yeah,
and
and
be
I
on the
was coming down
couch.
with it, man. I don't know. I've probably been around somebody unhealthy, of course, and I'm starting to feel a little something in the
Mm-hmm.
system. So we came on home, and I'm gonna
Mm-hmm.
see if I can get this stuff out of me for this weekend because it's gonna
Mm-hmm.
be this coming weekend. We got a few things happening. So
Absolutely. Yeah, you got to be
what up,
healthy.
Thomas
The
Neal?
best the best ability is availability. Last week's guest Thomas Neal in the house.
Yo, thanks for joining us, brother.
DJ extraordinaire. I've been
Yeah.
seeing your posts, man. Keep rocking. I see Brian been supporting DJ B from Park Place.
Yeah.
He's been supporting, so I like to see everybody doing what they said they was gonna do, man.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
y'all keep
absolutely. I
rocking,
saw
man.
Thomas
Keep doing
rock
your thing.
that school event that he was talking about. He rocked that
Yeah,
last weekend, man. He had them kids up
absolutely.
there jumping.
Yeah, yeah. So you had to all the G Herbos and all that. Juan, I missed your live this morning, man. I jumped on. I think you were already finished, but
Hmm.
I said what's up and thank you for the no shortcut shout out, man. Welcome
Yo,
Juan Velasquez, Cruise Planners, our official travel agent over here in the no shortcut community,
vacation
ladies and
planner to the
gentlemen.
stars.
And he can get you married.
Yeah, that part.
Notary and,
Yeah,
and all the big things he's doing with the Havens Men's Shelter. So
yeah,
we
yes.
we got great folks doing great things. I'm just glad to be in the midst. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
buddy. Absolutely. Thank you all for joining. Make sure you share this link, share it with your
Please
friends, share it
share it.
live right now, share it so somebody can just say, hey, I'm on my lunch break, I'll jump on this thing.
Absolutely. Even if you're playing it in the background, you don't have to watch it, but listen.
Yeah, this is an
Listening is more
audio journey
important
too.
in this particular aspect of things. If you
Yeah.
just throw it on in the background while you're eating your tuna fish and smelling up the office, it's okay.
Don't do the tuna fish, man. Listen, if you having tuna fish for lunch, eat it outside. Eat it
Yeah, yeah. In your
outside,
car.
please. Yeah.
We don't even want that in the atmosphere.
Yeah. For sure. Hey, man, I'm
Yeah.
going to let you do the honors, man. We're talking about
We have a
big people
special
doing
guest
big
today.
things. Tell them about our guest right
Yes.
now.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, we have a very special guest today. It's a privilege
Yeah.
for me because she's coming.
She's in the comments.
Yeah, yeah. Right on time, right?
Yeah.
It's a privilege for me because we have some mutual friends in common. Shout out to David and Teresa Rector. They're big advocates for entertainment, and even me being a musician and Lauren initially being in the comedy, which she still is. Even during COVID, they would throw events at their home,
Mm.
invite people over, have us entertain, and they would pay us during COVID when we couldn't do things. But
I'm
so shout
listening.
out to David and Teresa. But I initially met Lauren at one of their gatherings, a Christmas party. Brandon Stevens and I were playing some years ago, and we would meet at the charcuterie board or whatever, small talk. And I found out, at the time she was getting into doing. She was, I guess, in one foot in the corporate world, if I'm not mistaken. She can correct me when she comes on, and then another foot looking to do comedy. Had a passion for doing comedy, and things kept growing, and so.
Mhm.
There we met I guess most recently a couple of months ago or so at the charcuterie board, perhaps. I'm just using my imagination, but she was updating me on things that she has going on, and now she is the chief executive uh, officer, chief entertainment
Entertainment
officer
officer.
of Ansley Entertainment, ladies and gentlemen. She's doing a lot of big things with these corporations, some being Bank of America. You also have Atrium, Microsoft, but she's doing interactive entertainment and public speaking and many more other things that she can gladly get us familiar with
Hmm.
today. But without any further ado, please
Yeah,
put
yeah.
some applause in the chat. Make some noise at home while we make some noise on the screen for none other than Lauren Ansley of Ansley Entertainment, ladies and
Hey.
gentlemen.
Hey,
Hey
Lauren.
guys.
Welcome.
Hey.
Welcome.
I wanted to
Oh,
have
I'm
some
sorry. This
facial
is
hair.
Lauren Chaplin. I'm sorry.
I just didn't want to be the only one without facial hair, and you can't see my regular facial hair on the screen.
Oh my
Oh,
goodness.
Want to be
Hey,
one of
but
the cool
so you're
guys.
making us feel
yeah,
comfortable then.
yes,
Happy
yes.
Halloween. It's a pleasure to be here.
Yes,
Hey, happy
getting right along
Halloween.
with the theme. We love it, love it.
Yeah.
Thank you for joining us today. And I know when I reached out to you, shout out to Milton Crow real
Yeah.
fast. The Crow's
Yes.
Nest is
Thanks,
big
Milton.
supporter of the chairman of the board and the music that we do. But it's been nothing but a pleasure, leading up until today and having you on. And like I said, it's a treat for me because of when we first kind of met. You were just trying to figure some things out, and then the last time we ran into each other, thank you, Anita, thank you for sharing. And we ran
Hmm.
into each other, and just to see you were updating me and to see the growth that you've made and staying so busy, it's awesome. And that's the message that we try to preach here, at No Shortcuts, to encourage people continue to go for it. And you never know where you can end up, and I think you're a prime example of that.
Yeah, there's no shortcuts, and congratulations on hitting 500 or 495 real people
Yeah.
in the. That's
Yeah,
awesome.
yeah,
Thank
yeah,
you. Thank
yeah.
you.
Yeah.
Yes, we appreciate it. We've been working hard. It's hard to get people to share and like and what else? Subscribe, but we're gonna stay persistent. All we can do is give you the encouragement to do so. But we can see the numbers. I definitely slowly but surely continuing to grow. And you don't want to burn out too fast. If you get to the destination too fast, then what?
You know why? Because
Yeah.
there's no shortcuts.
There's
That's
no
right.
shortcuts.
That's
Famous,
right.
we're gonna have to chop this up and make a promo.
Seriously. She said
Yeah,
she
we're
said the
gonna.
title 3 times already. I love it.
Yes, yes, but it's so
Branding.
true. It's so true. It's so true. Well, Lauren, before we get into the meat and potatoes of all the things that you have been involved with, including your comedy and your public speaking and interactive entertainment with corporations, tell us and our audience at home a little bit about where you're born and raised and your early upbringing, that early life.
Sure, sure. So I was actually born in Massachusetts. My dad was in the Air Force. And
Okay.
then when I was 2.5, my parents split. So that gave me a lot of character for
Uh
comedy. But then my mom and my sister and I moved to Spartanburg, South Carolina, which was my mom's hometown. And born in Massachusetts, raised in Spartanburg, South
huh.
Carolina. Dad still active in our lives growing up.
Okay.
Just
Awesome.
more of a long distance kind of visiting thing. And
Yeah.
uh, yeah, then went to Winthrop. That's how I ended up in Rock Hill and getting to know Teresa and David Rector.
Okay, so you're Winthrop alumni as well. Shout out
That's
to all the
right.
Winthrop alum out there. Okay,
That's
cool. I
right.
didn't realize that. I didn't realize you went to Winthrop also.
Well,
Wow.
we've only really talked over meat and cheese and charcuterie. So,
And olives.
and olives. Yes, olives.
And spicy jelly.
Oh, you gotta have that.
Gotta have the
Yeah,
spicy
it's
jelly.
incomplete if you don't have the spicy jelly to wash it all down.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So what were some of your interests though? Like early on, like your child. So you have one sibling, just a sister.
Yep. So yeah, tough
Okay.
sister. So on my mom's side of the family, we'd go to Montreat, North Carolina every summer to it's near
Hmm.
Asheville, North Carolina,
Yeah.
and we would there were 7 kids and 7 adults, and the 7 kids we called ourselves the cousins, and every summer
Uh.
we put together a cousin show, which was like skits and dance, and it started because my cousins were all in dance. They wanted to show their dances to their grandparents and to all of us who weren't able to go to the rehearsals, recitals,
Mm-hmm.
and so then we started adding comedy. We added commercial breaks, and we started doing complete themes. And so we did it for,
Oh.
I don't know, maybe 10 plus years.
Hmm.
So
Okay.
I was a lot of the comedic
That's
comedy
what.
relief from that.
Yeah,
So
that's what I was gonna ask you. When did that start? So that started early. Then your
yeah,
passion for comedy. What
yeah.
inspired you? Was it like just by seeing different things on TV, or was there
Um,
something that kind of made the light bulb go off for you?
yeah, I mean, a lot of the inspiration for comedy, they've all been canceled, so I don't really want to
It's
shout
okay.
them
Gotta
out. But you can
do our
imagine
Googles.
Yeah.
some of those classic TV shows, and
Yeah.
yeah, just making other people laugh. Like you mentioned, I
Hmm.
host stand-up comedy shows now, and I love to watch the audience. I
Yeah.
want that laughter. It just
Yeah.
knowing other people are having a good time and just that you've created this moment for them. It's
Hmm.
very special.
Mm.
So
Yeah. I just had a thought when you saying that, like watching people, because even with famous being a DJ, he has to read the room when he's
Yeah.
playing music. That would probably apply to comedians. I never really thought about it until now with the two of you on the screen together. You have to kind of read the room and
mhm.
take the temperature of the room, so to speak, and then figure out what to do next sometimes.
Mhm.
Yep, and I got to tell you, with stand-up, everything's prepared. So
Right.
all of your jokes are already prepared, and when you're newer, there's no opportunity to pivot with the
Mm,
audience
mm,
because you have your set, and this is your set, and this is what
right.
you're supposed to say.
Mm.
Even though it looks like it's made up on the spot, it's all
Yeah.
prepared, but it's
Right.
supposed to look like it's on the spot. So yeah, as a newer comedian, I did this one show once, and I was like, "Hey, has anybody ever done online dating?" And no one said
Uh
anything. And I was like, "Hey, here are my next 5 minutes about online dating," because that's all I had.
Mhm.
So
Right. Right. So they
it's
would.
kind of
So they weren't responding.
yeah, it's kind of like if you're a DJ and you have maybe like 5 types of songs, and
That you
they're not
picked
into the
already.
songs. It's like, well, I'm sorry, I'm gonna have to play these anyway.
Right.
Mm,
So the more
mm,
experience you get, the bigger your album is. Same with comedy, right? The
yeah.
bigger
And
the collection of things that you can grab from. Oh, they didn't like this. Let me change to that.
Mm.
okay, okay. And then you would be able to pivot obviously, the more material you have, okay, this may not be
Right.
working, so let me dig in this bag over here and get out these bit of jokes or
Yeah.
whatever.
Exactly. And the more experience you have, the more stage time, absolutely
Hmm.
you have that. Because you know what? There's no shortcuts.
Yeah, hey,
We're
yeah, I
just gonna
love it.
we're gonna show clips of this with no context at all, and he's gonna, why is she wearing a hat and mustache
Yeah,
No
yeah,
shortcuts.
in the
yeah,
ads like 3 months from
she's
now?
in the Halloween spirit. It's
Yeah.
great. Did you do any like talent shows along the way, or
Yeah.
maybe like early on, or even in your college years? Did you get into doing any talent
Uh,
shows, displaying your
I
comedy?
I became painfully shy. Like I was always very painfully shy, but then like my family, like my sister and I were in a couple of talent shows growing up, and of course we had the cousin shows in the summertime. I don't think
Hmm.
I was in a lot. I got into symphony, actually played violin, and then switched to viola up until high
Okay.
school. And I took one acting class, and that was pretty much it. And I took jazzercise, peanut,
Okay.
peanut butter. No, that's all I
Yeah.
remember from jazzercise. But not especially. It wasn't until in my 30s I actually found out that the local comedy club had a comedy class at the time, and that's how I got
Uh-huh.
started in stand up officially.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah.
Full class.
And real quick, let me ask you this: what did you major in at Winthrop? Being that you went to Winthrop, and of course they want you to declare a major and everything, but obviously you were, and I can
She
identify with
majored
this.
in funny.
That's
My major, at Winthrop at the time it was pre-major for 2 years.
Hmm.
Hmm.
And people are like, wow, pre-med. I was like, nope,
No.
pre-major.
Nah, pre-major.
It's not pre-med. But yeah, I had no
Yeah.
idea what I wanted to do, and I'm still like
Mhm.
wondering if I figured it out. But I feel like the path reveals itself the longer you stay on it.
Hmm.
So
Yeah.
yeah, I actually went to Ball State University in Indiana for my junior year of college for
Okay.
national student exchange, which I wanted to go somewhere north because I was from
Right.
Massachusetts and I thought I might go somewhere north after school. And
Gotcha.
it's kind of like a lottery. I applied to all these SUNY schools up in the
Hmm.
Northeast and didn't get to any of those. And it's kind of like a lottery. Ended up in Muncie, Indiana, and I didn't even know where Indiana was on the map. So I went there for a semester. That's how I found out marketing, and that's when
Okay.
it was a big marketing school, and I was very fortunate that Winthrop had a marketing a concentration, as they call it, in business major.
Okay.
Yeah. So I
Okay.
finished here.
Okay. So in other words, a lot of the classes you took at Winthrop were accepted there and counted towards your marketing
Yeah.
credits. Is that what you're saying? All
Yeah. I
right. Cool.
didn't.
Oh, we got a comment.
Yeah,
That's my
we should have done
cousin.
some
Don't let me.
pre-production because Amanda says that there's video evidence. You've been funny your whole
Oh
life.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Her
Hey,
whole life.
Shout out to
so
Amanda.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Yeah.
So
Send it to DJ Famous. We'll post it.
all of our cousin shows are taped from way back when,
Oh,
Yeah.
nice.
before they were even called the cousin shows. So yeah,
Yeah.
Amanda's
Well,
good. She's my
yeah.
cousin, and she was the
That's
director of the cousin shows.
Yeah.
So
cool. My Aunt Florence is joining us.
Hey.
hey,
Hey, Aunt
Florence.
Flo. Yeah. So how would y'all put the cousin show together? Like, was it really thought out? Like, almost on a professional level as far as thinking it out. We're gonna do this, and then we're gonna do this. Give us a
We
little
thought
insight
so
with that.
at the time. We thought so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
To the point where we had, so it's 5 gals and 2 guys and the cousins, and the 2 guys always felt left out. Those were Amanda's brothers, and they would always.
Okay.
I feel like way back when they would have formed a union if they had thought about it for these
Hmm.
cousin shows, because we just bulldozed and we said no, we're not doing that, and moved on.
Hmm.
But
Yeah.
Amanda was the primary genius
Yeah.
behind those shows.
And you guys would just entertain the rest of the family, I assume, like at
Yeah.
Different gatherings and stuff like that. All right.
Yeah,
Cool.
there'd be
Cool.
the cousin show the one time of the week when we were in the mountains, and it was the culmination. And as soon as so it would be recorded, and as soon as it was recorded, we'd say, "Let's watch it again." So they recorder with the cord to the TV, and we'd watch it.
Nice. That's good. Because and speaking of cousins, shout out to my cousin Napoleon who just hopped
Yeah.
on. Shout out to him.
That's what
So
Juan
you
just
would, so
said. Juan just
yeah,
said that Jerry's got all his cousins on the show.
that's right.
in the
See,
comments.
Juan, me and Juan thinking alike. We
Do
think
it.
alike.
You should do
That's
it.
right.
Yes.
It's so fun, and it'll break up your family like that.
We have
You know
another
what? And
cousin.
Oh, we got some more cousins
my
in here.
mom.
Oh, that's
Oh,
mom. Okay, the cousin
Shout out to
shows were the
Mom.
highlight of summer vacations. Shout out to mom.
nice. we gotta. You guys gotta throw another one and invite us all to come out
Yeah,
there.
let's just do the reunion. Let's do the reunion.
Yeah, let's put together the No Shortcuts Cousins Show reunion. One,
Reunion
you can help with
special.
the destination, and then we all go out there and watch a live show.
We'll live stream
I'm
that thing
eager
too for
to
anybody who
be
can't
a
make
part
it.
of
That's not going to happen, but you guys are welcome. But no recording.
Oh, okay. No
Wow.
reunion. All right. She's a little
Said no
busy, I guess,
recording
ladies
it.
and gentlemen. A
No
little busy.
recording it.
Yeah. Yeah. So after you graduated, I'm sorry, you said you ended up north. Give me the school again. I got
Ball
distracted
State.
by all the melee.
Ball
Ball State.
Ball
Muncie,
State.
Ball
Indiana.
State.
Mhm.
Didn't
Yeah, in
David Letterman
Indiana.
go there?
Yep, that was his alma
Yeah.
mater.
Yeah.
Yep. They had a
Okay.
football team, and David Letterman was the claim to fame.
Yeah.
Is that football team.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow, that's all right. Yeah. So what was the rest of your journey like as far as after getting done with school, and if you could give us a brief synopsis of did you go right into the business world then, the corporate world, or what was your next step?
Yeah. So this is where I start to feel a little bit older.
Okay.
So I graduated in May of 2012. No, wait.
Okay.
No. I am so much older than that. In
I was about to
2020,
say.
right after 9/11 happened, of course, September, and in May I
Uh-huh.
graduated.
Yeah.
And I graduated and I was like, okay, where are the job offers? Like,
Mhm.
Hmm.
and I was like, oh wait, you
Yeah.
have to apply, and you have to like. I was so unaware.
Yeah.
So
Yes.
I'd had an internship with the local chamber of commerce. So fortunately, I was working my job at PetSmart, and I was there to
Hmm.
pick up a paycheck. And a guy who had been hired at the chamber while I started, he mentioned that the front desk job was open. So that's where I started getting into my first like grown up job out of school.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
worked the front desk and then started planning events and
Hmm.
concerts. Actually, I worked with you probably know some of the guys from like the Fantastic Shakers, Catalinas.
Oh
Um,
yeah. Well, in that
Bobby
circuit of
Player,
beach music, yeah.
yeah, Bobby Player's band. So we
Yeah.
did Main
Shout out
Street
to
Live.
Bobby Player. Yeah.
Yeah. So I
Okay.
helped host those shows and coordinate everything in my 20s. And then
Now this is back in Rock Hill. I'm sorry to jump in. This is back in Rock. Okay, gotcha.
Yeah. And then
Yeah.
wanted to go into venue sales. So I worked at the Dairy Barn in Fort Mill and at
Hmm.
the Spruce Coast Greenway and sold that, was in sales for, wedding bookings and corporate bookings for a few different venues. And then went to work for a membership-based organization where I still did a couple of events, and then I went
Hmm.
into marketing with a manufacturing company, and this is all kind of getting boring. But when I
No,
was
it's
working
good.
with a manufacturing company in marketing, that's when I started taking the comedy class.
Mhm.
And
Mm.
then, no, that's wrong. The job before that. Anyway,
Mhm.
I got back into it in the marketing role at the manufacturing
Okay.
company. And that's when I was like,
Okay.
you know what? I'm going to quit my job. I'm going to sell my house. I'm going to do this full time because
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
normal, right?
Mhm.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, it's normal. Well, I don't think any of us that pursue our dreams and passions, we present ourselves as normal. I don't think that you can be quote unquote
You gotta have
normal
a couple
and do
screws
something
loose.
different. Yeah, you
Yeah.
got to be a little different, and then you have to have something to offer, or a gift, or a talent, or a passion to offer. And it seems like even so you graduated after 9/11, so 2002, right? It seems like you already had the interest in doing events, it seems, or putting together events, or having a hand in it, or booking the band, or whatever, right?
Are you familiar with the term idiot savant?
Mhm.
I've heard it, but I'll allow you to explain it.
It's basically like the idiot where things just work out
Mhm.
and there's no
Mm.
plan. That's um,
So we're
that
idiot
was
savants.
my
That's what we're saying.
that was my minor in college, was idiot savanting. So
Yeah.
these steps, we talk about no shortcuts. We talk no shortcuts.
Yeah.
We talk
Hmm.
about the path revealing itself, right? So I think
Yeah.
some people may have a grand plan for their lives, or
Hmm.
or know what that is. I've had like almost like electives in life.
Mhm.
Like
Okay.
in college, I didn't know what I wanted to do, so I took a bunch of electives. And
Hmm.
in my career, I took a bunch of different jobs because I didn't really know what I wanted to do. So I didn't have like
Hmm.
teacher
Right.
or doctor or like these career paths
Right.
that told you what you're
Hmm.
supposed to So it's like life. I always say I wish life came with a syllabus,
Yeah.
but at the same time, you can figure out a lot about yourself by just doing and figuring out what
Yeah.
you like, what you don't like.
Absolutely.
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 We
Yeah.
got a
And if it
comment.
came with a syllabus, that would take the adventure out of it.
Amanda
You want me to read
says,
the? Go
Lauren
ahead.
was the
Frank.
ultimate character actor in our shows, created such characters of Miss Manners and Warren Mansley.
Okay.
Yeah,
And
featured in the COVID Spring Break Facebook group. Quarantino, I like it. I like
Hey,
it.
post all the links. Post the
Send
links
us
in
to
this
us, man.
thread.
We want to see these.
Come back and post the videos in this thread,
We're
and we
gonna
will
do
go back and check
an
out the
extended
cousins.
footage version of this show and add some B-roll
Yeah.
to it.
My
Absolutely.
family
Yeah.
needs to get out of the comments.
No,
Stop.
we do. And Juan's already working because the number one shout out job on cruise ships is DJs and the second is comedians. He's trying to put us
and-
together on a package deal. I
There
already
you
know
go,
what
Yeah.
he's doing. Let's do it, Juan. Let's do it.
I got a lot
Yeah.
of Canadian friends on cruise ships.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
Have you done that before? Is that something you would be interested in doing? You
Um,
can vacay and work at the same time.
That's what I'm saying.
yeah, I know.
Can I
do
bring
love
the
a
kids,
cruise.
Juan?
Um, so the comedians that are on cruise ships that I'm friends with, they have a lot more material than I do. I kind of lean more into hosting, whereas they lean
Okay.
more
Well,
into
you need a host too. You need
Yeah.
a host.
Yeah. Yeah,
Yeah,
I can definitely
yeah.
host. I can host like nobody's business. I thought about being one of those cruise directors. I think that'd be really cool.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Have
Well,
you all
yeah.
been on cruises before?
No, I'm performing on my first one next. Well, yeah.
Next
Well, it's
October.
still October. Next, I thought it was November. I was gonna say this October. I try to be technical on there. I'm in front of all these lovely folks. But anyway, next October, yeah, going for a week with the chairman of the board. And then, but we out of the 6 days we'll be on the cruise, we perform 3, and we have
Yeah.
3 off. So I'm assuming it'll be like a every other day type of thing. But I've been on a cruise before, but not as a performer. So that will be my first.
Yeah,
That's
first
fun.
time. But
I haven't been.
but
I
you're
haven't
definitely-
performed on one either. But if I only had Juan's phone number, I'd probably contact him about that. If I only knew
Yeah.
Juan's phone number, it's about.
And
to
Juan
appear.
is gonna throw his number up in the.
Phone number in there.
It's about to.
Oh,
appear
you don't
in the
have to tell him.
comments.
You don't have to tell him. It's coming.
about to appear.
Watch this magic trick right here.
So,
Yeah.
Lauren, so
Yeah.
how did you start to? There it is. So,
There it is.
everybody, that's Juan's number. Call
Do
him.
not text it. Call it. Do not
Yeah,
text,
don't text
it.
it.
He
Don't
won't. Yeah, it's the business
What's
line.
up, Juan? I'm not. I didn't call it.
But
So-
no, he's great.
Lauren, how did you start to hone, when you decided that you wanted to, go the path of comedy and you took the comedy class, I heard you say that, but then how did you start to really, perfect that? And like, what was the process like of honing that craft?
So this is where we get into a little bit of the idiot savanting. So
Okay.
I'll just share with my personal experience. So you take this comedy class, you practice for 6 weeks, you have your grad night. My mom was there, Sherry. Hello.
Okay,
She was
awesome.
there. It was the best night of my life. And
Mhm.
then the very next time I performed was at an open mic, and this is like a comedian's gym, right? It's like where you work out your sets.
Absolutely.
So I went, and it was in front of other comedians. No one laughed, and I ended up quitting because I went from this high to this low, and I was like, well, I'm not really funny. Everybody was just being nice. So I quit stand-up comedy for 3 years.
3 years.
3 years. So, during those 3 years, this is part of my bit, and I speak about this, but I'll just share with you all. During those 3 years, I actually went back to
Sure.
school. I got my MBA. I met a guy, and I fell in love, and I got engaged. I'm kidding.
Awesome.
None of that happened. I was just sad. For 3 years. So,
She had me.
Yeah.
but then I got back into it, right? And I persevered. That's what I talk about is perseverance.
Right.
But the normal path for comedy, to answer the question, is you work it out at open mics, because comedy requires an audience to get a genuine reaction, right? Because you are
Yes.
trying to get the audience to laugh. We can practice all you want at home. You can write all you want at home. But if you're not getting that stage time to see how it hits with a real audience,
Right.
you're
That's
doing yourself
true.
a disservice. So
That's true.
the way to really work it out is you go back up to mics. So, when you're first beginning, you want to get that tight 5, like really, really, really good. And then that's when you can start doing guest spots on different shows. So then you're working in different rooms, and you can't retell a joke to the same audience because they've already heard it, So
Right.
that's surprise, the magic trick.
Yeah, the element, right.
On. You could almost say there's no shortcuts.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh.
But then
I'm gonna hit the sound effect every time you do that.
But yeah, so you just keep going and then you build, and once you have that 5-minute set, it's like perfect and you're happy with it and you're not making any more tweaks. Then you take a minute of that out and you put another minute in, and so then you have 6 minutes that you're working on.
Gotcha.
And then you work up to 10. And then as a host, you have like 10 to 15 minutes. As a traditional feature in a traditional comedy show, you'll have 30, and as a headliner, you'll have 45. End to end, I probably have 45 minutes, but I haven't ever performed them all together. I've done 30 before.
Okay,
so,
that's good.
Back to the question about cruise comedians, they have multiple sets because people go see multiple shows. So they're typically tenured comedians who have focused on comedy. So they'll have like a clean set and then a dirty set. They could do an early and a late night show.
Right. Very interesting.
And then those same people they come back the next day, so they need a different 45 minutes.
Right.
Gotcha.
Yeah. If possible.
Yeah. That's very interesting how you explain that, because us sitting in the audience, we don't really think about the writing process. And so what do you typically pull from? You just like life in general, I guess. And put a twist on it to make it funny. Just me not knowing, I'm guessing.
Yeah. So that's where the idiot's font comes in handy. And also, like you mentioned, thinking differently than the typical person, like just having a skew of what happens, like to pull the funny, because the equation is tragedy plus time equals comedy. So something that you don't find funny at the time, like that family trip where nothing goes right, give it enough time, it's funny. Yeah. Maybe you're yelling at each other and it's like terrible, and this big trip that you had all these big plans for, and then the car breaks down, and then this happens and that happens, and the hotel is canceled, or the place is closed that you're going to, or something, or the weather's bad when you're supposed to go on this cruise and it has to be diverted or whatever. You can eventually find the humor, and once you've had enough space, once it's not that way.
Very interesting.
Yeah. And then I also encourage, I teach a stand-up comedy class for, thanks, Mom.
Thanks, Mom, for joining. We had, thank y'all for joining. Put us in the background.
But then you have, so you have these things that happen that make you think, that give you time and space to make a joke out of it. But then you also have to realize that it needs to apply to, like, a general audience has to also find it funny. Right? Not just your friends, like inside jokes. You have to bring the audience in to create the inside joke together. So, and then, but painful things can make for a lot of humor. That too.
Yeah, that's very, very interesting. Then too, I guess you have to have that comedic perspective, to be able to pull that out, which is a gift, to make something funny, to make something that was tragic or painful, to be able to make it funny, Yeah, that's a gift.
And it's also very distilled. It's very distilled to the essence of the joke, like that. The 3-year break, like that joke that I told, and then I got married, and that classic misdirection. But that came from 3 years of pain for this 10-second clip. So it's really edited life. Yeah, it's really distilled down, but it's also a way for you as the performer to process the pain.
Wow.
And turn it into a positive.
Yeah. So what made you? Go ahead, Famous.
I was just gonna say the other part that you said about, being globally funny. Like, you could be the funny guy on the corner or the funny guy at the club with my friends, and then I should be in stand up. And then you get out there and they're like, what?
It's different.
It's not the same kind of funny.
Yeah. So there's conversationally funny. So you can just like think of something in the moment. But on stage, the audience doesn't have that context. So you can't just say the thing. You have to set this, you have to set it up. You have to give them enough of the essence of who you are.
Right.
So that it's funny to them. So I actually teach a women's comedy class to encourage more women to get on stage, and also to not wait 3 years if you have a bad experience. Just keep going. Because what? There's no shortcuts.
Hey. No shortcuts.
That's one of the things I say in the class is you need to put yourself in the center of the joke, and it needs to be authentic to who you are. So it really rings true to you. and then give the audience a little glimpse of who you are and your perspective.
Yeah. And what made you come back after 3 years? What was the turning point? And I find that this will be important for someone who may hear this or maybe listening or see this, and they may have not even started, or maybe they started on a journey and then they quit. What was it that brought you back to what you were passionate about at that time?
I was honestly just kind of searching for habit and searching for something to do that would be a little bit more fun and bring me a little bit more joy. And I had tried volunteering. Turns out I don't like volunteering. I'm kidding. Don't use that as a clip.
Don't cut that clip up.
Edit that before this goes live, everybody.
Okay. Yeah, there we go.
We got you.
But I was just searching for something that would be interesting, and I really didn't have a passion for life. Like I said, I hate to say it, but my jobs were kind of like, let me try this, let me try that. Okay, now we're getting a little bit closer to what we want,
Yeah.
So I think some people have a path and they want to be a lawyer, and so they go to law school. But here's the secret to this. This is what I've heard, is by the time you finish law school, and I think this would probably be true with a lot of professions, by the time you finish, you feel so invested, you've spent so much money that you're stuck, that you have to do it. I didn't have any of that. There was nothing that I was stuck in. Anything that I stuck was just a mental thing. Yeah. So I kind of had a point and I got off track. I'm not sure.
You got back into comedy.
Yeah. But also I want to encourage everyone that success is not a straight line. Success is not a squiggly line. Sometimes success has a break, right? Because you hear about failure. You hear about Steve Jobs working in his garage, almost going broke, and then he hit it big. Well, sometimes you hit rock bottom and you stay there for a while. And I would encourage anyone who, like you said, anyone who's watching or listening who hasn't done something, and maybe they've bombed on stage, or they bombed at their job, or they bombed at whatever the project is. It's okay. You can get back at it. You can try again. There's no one to tell you can't do it, except yourself. And so much of this self-belief, because like you all just decided to become entertainers. Who are you to be entertainers? Who am I to think I can make someone laugh? Right. That's what you want to do. And you have to have this, at least to start, unsubstantiated belief in yourself.
Absolutely.
And then you can look back at the stack of receipts after you've worked hard and figured it out.
Yeah, no, that's great advice. And I'm so glad you stuck with it, because you transitioned from doing comedy hosting only or what have you into like public speaking engagements. You're the chief entertainment officer at Ansley Entertainment, and you do interactive entertainment with a lot of big name companies, which I aforementioned in the intro. So what was that transition like? Were you just slowly pulled into doing, because normally it's a natural progression and you're just like, I'm find myself doing more of this now? James, what up?
You, James. Yeah. That's awesome. I was dragged into corporate entertainment. You said, were you pulled? I was dragged. It was one of those things that I eventually wanted to go into it, but I certainly didn't think after 8 months of having my business that I would be qualified to. It was kind of the long-term plan, the goal and the desire. But I'd never even worked or even applied for jobs at the companies that I've worked for as an entertainer. So it's been very humbling and also exciting. And I'm very grateful for the opportunity. So what happened was I went full time. 6 months after starting July, August, September. I don't know. There's just this random dog that showed up. You may have seen this at a couple
hello.
Yeah.
I don't even know.
We love the fur babies here at No Shortcuts as well.
I don't know whose dog this is, but he's very sweet. Okay. So I was 4 months into planning comedy shows. I went full time. It was just insane. I was like, you know what? I'm selling my house to fund my dream. I'm quitting my job. I'm going to do it full time. And then 6 months into that, COVID hits and all my shows are canceled. So I jokingly say I started a new position called the fetal. Stayed in that for a while. And then I started hosting virtual comedy shows. And virtual comedy shows. And then Microsoft called me, and it was somebody who had
Wow.
seen me at a show, host a show in
Wow.
Waxhaw, North Carolina. Oh, he's getting
Uh-huh.
restless.
It's okay.
And
And
started
Waxhaw, you
hosting.
said.
Yeah, Dream Chasers,
Waxhaw.
they're my longest
Okay.
running comedy show. Venue partner, they're awesome. Madison and Neil, and their whole team's great.
Mm-hmm.
So she had seen me host that show, and she said, "Hey, would you like to do a virtual show for our team to stay connected, a comedy show?" And I was like, "Heck yeah!" So we did a couple of practice runs on Teams, because I don't think I'd ever been on a Microsoft Teams meeting, and then we
Okay.
hosted a few comedy shows together, and then I was like, well, I guess I'm doing corporate entertainment. That's how I'm going to keep this business going. So I started
Absolutely.
networking, and networking is so powerful. I know, Famous, you'd mentioned before
Absolutely.
that you got a referral for a gig that you did. That's all this is. It's
Right.
all
Yes.
relationships, know, like, and trust. So
Mhm.
I started working with other entertainers and creating events like online music bingo, and partnered with a mixologist and an incredible magician from Maryland who has performed for
Wow.
the late Queen of England and all over the
Wow.
world, and dignitaries and
Mhm.
royal people. And he's
You're
all
good.
and so then created this like boutique entertainment agency online. And so I was kind of like dragged into it. That's where the Idiot Savant really comes into play too.
Yeah.
Every new thing that I have started is because somebody suggested it to me.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
Yeah. That was, and you know what? That was a common theme. I don't know if Thomas Neal is still on, but he was our guest last week. He got into
Yeah.
DJing because people were telling him, and you need that confirmation from someone whose opinion you trust often to take that next step. So I can identify in that what you're saying, what he was saying last week. Once we get that confirmation, oftentimes that gives us the boldness we need to take the next step.
Mhm.
Yeah.
there's a quote that I'm pulling up that is so relevant to this that I have to share with you. This is a
Okay.
tweet, and I think this really sums it up. I'm going to pull it over here, and I'm going to share it with you.
Sure.
Okay.
Sure.
Whatever you think you can't do, just know that there is someone who is confidently doing it wrong right now.
Mm,
They have no plans at doing it better either, and people are paying them to do it.
Mhm.
yes.
Please believe in your own excellence as much as they believe in their mediocrity.
I
There you
like
go.
that.
I love
And
that.
I
I
think
like
that hits
that.
home with entrepreneurs, anyone who's trying something new, anyone who's failed and wants to get back started again. Use me as an
Hmm.
example. Maybe not a
Yeah.
success story, but I'm on the path.
No,
Um,
no, you're definitely a
it-
success story. Like I said, with some of the clients that you've been able to garner since doing the interactive entertainment and public speaking and things like that. I
And
mean, you
and
got
I
some.
don't know that not too many people, definitely not anyone that we've spoken to, can say this sentence: Microsoft called me. you know?
Yeah,
they
unless like
didn't
you
call
got
me
to pay for
then,
something.
but they called me then.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't think I've ever received a call from Microsoft
No,
that
I
now
have
that I'm
not
thinking
either.
about it.
My man
Yeah,
Yeah,
so
Bill.
so I'm
I keynote about
Bill.
perseverance. One of the things I say in the keynote is that I got a call from Microsoft. Yeah, they needed me to renew my Microsoft 360 account.
Yeah, that part, and not Bill Gates. It was just Bill,
Yeah.
no name, no last
I
name.
got a call from
just a Bill.
Microsoft. They want to know what was the expiration date on my credit card because something didn't go right.
It's pending.
So how about you all? Like, I think like so many times a success is portrayed by like perfection, right?
Yeah.
Or you and there is something to be said about nobody wants to hear your sob story unless you've turned it around, right?
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
you can't say I was a failure and I'm still a failure. That's not
Yeah.
inspiring. So
Right.
you have to get through the failure in order for people to hear your story. But I think sometimes people gloss over it. So would you all like to has there been moments, or is there a moment, may I ask, that you were like, I don't think I'm going to keep going, and what helped you to keep going? Because that I think might inspire your audience too.
You want to go first? I'll go. Go ahead, Fame.
Yeah, I think there was I've been full time with my business for a little over about a year and a half now. So there was always hesitation to take it full time. I always had something to back up, like I treated it, as if I didn't have to take it that seriously. Oh, I have a job, I got insurance, I got these things. and I was always using that as a crutch to not, go to that extra step, and I had to be, pushed a little bit from behind to go. What are you doing? You're really doing this full time? What are you doing? So that was. But there was never a point where I felt like I couldn't. I was just, scared of the uncertainty of, not having somebody else write me a paycheck every 2 weeks.
Yep.
Yeah. I would say my time of maybe that in the least bit would have been before I actually was a full-time musician or entertainer. Like, because I started playing music so young, being gifted and not really even understanding I was gifted, like 2, 3 years old, uh pulling pots and pans out the bottom of the oven and beating on them. And before I played keys, I was a drummer, so having a drum set, maybe by the time I was 3, having a piano in the house. My dad and my mother both heavily involved in church. My dad's a bishop, my mom's a prophetess. I played at church all the time, weeknights, Sundays, revival. So when I went away to college, it was almost like I hid the fact that I could play music, if that makes sense. Because I had done it so much. I didn't talk about it much. I didn't really, but we had a piano in the basement. One day I was doing laundry, and and me and another guy were down there playing and going back and forth, and that led to me someone calling me to do this intro for these girls who were going to be in a talent show. They needed some music to go along with what they were going to do. But then once I jumped back in and I went to that studio and started doing that, I've been on the path ever since, slowly but surely understanding. Like, even when I was at Winthrop, I knew I wanted to do music. I thought I could major in music and find my way there. That wasn't my avenue, because they want you to read and do theory and all of this stuff. I play by ear and by feeling. Thanks, man. You're the best for being here, and for doing all you've done over the years. But I always knew I wanted to do music. But once I got to a point, my last main corporate job was maybe 2007. And once that kind of ran its course, I was already making plans to, like, the next step, to know, I'm gifted at this for a reason. And I feel like if I don't do this, then I'm doing myself a disservice, because how many people wish they could do, and not that I'm high and mighty at all, but how many people wish they could play an instrument or write songs or whatever, And so it's like, this is my purpose. This is my purpose. I got to figure it out, and I got to figure out how to do this. And I'm so thankful for that, because I can set my schedule the way I want. I have things that are obligatory and things that take precedent over others, but I'm able to spend time with my son. I can take my son to school. I can pick him up most afternoons and things like that. And so I think that's what we really strive for, is to do something that's fulfilling, but doesn't suck up all your time and energy. And you still can live a little bit and have a nice little balance for family, making your money, and also, you see, family, making your money, and having some freedom. I think that's a great way to live your life.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So with that being said, I haven't since I've been on that type of path. Nah, the only time I just kind of took a break and put my music and stuff to the back seat, like when I transitioned from home to going to college for a little while. But once it was discovered I had musical talents, I was right back in doing studio time twice a week, producing music and all type of stuff. So,
That's awesome.
and I haven't really stopped.
Yeah.
I haven't really stopped. Yeah.
I'm waiting for Lauren to say there's no shortcuts.
Hey.
We're gonna do it again, and then every time you say no shortcuts, I have another
no shortcuts.
Sponsored by Juan Velasquez Cruise Plans.
Yeah, it's got to reload. And we got the old school gun with the musket and the gunpowder. Hey, you remember those Civil War movies, man? They take so long to reload. They walking up on the other army. That they still trying to hurry up.
Yeah. Lauren, so I know we
yeah.
just have a couple minutes left with you, but I wanted to touch on another aspect of what you're doing that I read on is the public speaking training, like training public
Oh
speakers.
yeah.
We talked about this a little bit last week with Thomas as well, like getting comfortable with the emceeing and the speaking aspect.
Hosting, yeah.
And I definitely wanted to hear your what you do in regards of training and teaching public speaking.
Yeah, well, thank you. So that was another idiot savant thing. So a good friend of mine in Colombia, she also has done stand-up comedy. She suggested I create a public speaking workshop for her team. And so I created that and I did it virtually and it was really great. And it was basically just like the basis of public speaking and how to prepare for what you're going to say and how to make it be less scary. And honestly, a lot of it is just doing it, going to the open mics as far as comedians, or if you want to be a public speaker, just getting up and speaking wherever you can. There's different groups that you can get involved in. And then I've decided to turn that into a public workshop. So I'm actually hosting that next Wednesday afternoon at the Charlotte Art League on November 7th. It'll be my first public class. And
Nice.
ultimately, I want to offer this for organizations too, and a series, because you can't really get comfortable speaking in front of a group in 3 hours.
Right.
Just like with the comedy class that I host, I want it to be multiple series. So it's something I'm just starting, but it doesn't have to be. That's the number one biggest fear of people is public speaking, and taking away I forget the word, but the mystery, the veil of like, oh my gosh, how did you get so good at it? You do it. You have to take the fear out. Repetition. What's the worst thing that can happen? Let's work in a small group and encourage you to get better at it. Because you know what? Especially comedy has been such a blessing for me in this way. Yeah. I messed up someone's name at a corporate event, which is like the worst thing you can do when you're in
Oh, wow.
And I was like, oh, nope, that's the wrong name. I'm so sorry. He even told me how to pronounce everybody else's name. Let me say it again. And then I said it again. Or, if it's like, oh, you burped into the microphone, you know what? We're human. It happens.
Yeah, we're human.
It's not the best time to happen, but it's demystifying it and just kind of like, it's okay. It's okay.
Yeah.
No, I've knocked a drink over on stage before.
Yeah, things happen.
That's embarrassing, but we just move on.
Yeah.
You make a joke about it, make light of it because you're a human being.
Absolutely.
I think that's great. I might have to sign up for this workshop as well because I'm still honing my public speaking.
Dude,
so someone send me the link, and if someone wants to
or you can post
you for this thing or others, how will they do so?
Well, I'm so glad that you asked this. Go to my website, which is ansleyentertainment.com.
Yeah.
And you can sign up. I think if you go to, actually, I don't even know if it's on there. Let me just put it.
Yeah, you have an Instagram.
Yeah, my Instagram is Ansley Entertainment, and then also Lauren Ansley Presents. But I need to post more on Entertainment. So follow me there.
Yeah. Yes, man. This has been great. Any other comments that we need to acknowledge before we wrap up?
I just want to let you all know that there are no shortcuts.
Hey,
there are no shortcuts.
Sponsored by Juan Velasquez Cruise Planners.
Yeah.
Keep doing what you're doing and be smart about it, be strategic about it, and listen to the people who give you advice and lift you up, and ignore the naysayers, and have faith in yourself and reflect back at your stack of receipts, because you can do hard things and you'll continue to do so.
Yeah. And you must have known how we closed the show out already, because that's what I was going to ask you. If you wanted to leave some advice, a bit of advice for someone, what would you say? And I think you pretty much
stack
covered
of receipts.
And
Take time.
Juan's already given her a nickname, Lauren.
Give it
a LA.
LA, what's up?
What up, LA?
Yes. Yeah. No, we thank everyone so much for joining us again. Another week, another Tuesday here at the No Shortcut Show with Midas and Fame. We want to thank Lauren Ansley one more time for joining us. It's been great.
It's been great.
She's been great. She got dressed up for us and everything. So I'm gonna call her Lauren.
Wearing Halloween colors. I'm like, come on, commit to the bit, guys. Come on.
And aside from the beginning and the end, there was no mention of Halloween. So when we play this back in February, it's gonna be really cool.
Yeah, absolutely. I think I said Halloween at the beginning.
Everybody.
I think. I
great.
think, man. Yeah. So you got your contact information, everything like that. Okay. All right.
This has been
Cool.
great.
So
Thanks everybody for joining. And make sure you share it as well. And being active in the comments. Rhonda says that she has a dear friend that's a comedian for Royal Caribbean. And we should put him on as a guest, so we should definitely do that. Let's get in contact with him.
Yes, Rhonda, please. Yeah, send out her information to me or to Famous, and we'll reach out to her. We got to get James on real soon too. James, we're gonna have our holiday editions coming up. James is a great producer, man. I've been keeping an eye on him since he joined the community. He's dropping some music. He's been involved with some scripts. He had a nomination for an award. Doing some great things. Juan every week. Shout out to Kid Knox. Juan is off the chain, man. Whose dog is this? Off the chain. Hey, real quick, shout out to the chairman of the board, the executives, Mellow Groove, Praise and Faith Gospel Shop, Smooth Sales, A Touch of Faith, Earth, Wind, and Fire family, our Honeycomb family, all you guys. Thank you. Juan Velasquez, Cruise Platters. Thank y'all for being here. Ansley Entertainment today, FMG, Famous, Juju Lee events,
And one last thing, Juan says he's going to be on Robert Moore's show this week, and Robert Moore.
Is that live? Is that live?
I think I don't know if they shoot it live, or if they do live or just record. I think he records it. But anyway, look out for that show.
Posted in the community.
God's Glory and Men's Real Stories is the name of that show. So look out for that, and we'll put a link in there as well. Keep us updated on that one when it's going to be dropped.
Yeah. Any closing words, Famous? You gonna take us home?
I think that was it for me. Thank you, Lauren, for joining. This has been a great show. We do appreciate your time.
Lauren, stay on the line once we sign off, and we'll say goodbye privately. But hey, everybody, share this, hit the likes, hit the hearts one more time. If you're over on YouTube, do not dare sign off without subscribing to our No Shortcuts channel. Yeah, and then I'll go back and post our YouTube page in our comments here on Facebook. We're trying to grow this thing, and it's growing certainly but surely. And thank you all for all that you do. One more time, thank Lauren Ansley for joining us today. It was great. We appreciate all of your knowledge and your comedic time, and it's been a wonderful time here at No Shortcuts. Ladies and gentlemen, we're gonna see you next Tuesday. Let's do it again. Same time, same channel. Invite a friend to watch with you. And until then, we're gonna say so long. So long. Y'all have a great rest of the week. Peace, love, God.